living the impossible dream. The friendly sparrow says, caw, caw. The chimpanzee says, woo, woo. The lovely owl says, whoo. You know, it's from Road Trip. You remember? Everyone's like, you've never. Okay, it's Maggie the Blue Baby. It's just that easy. Maggie the Blue Baby. That's from the movie Road Trip. Some of you haven't seen it. It's Tom Green. He then goes, but the salmon says, and that's sad. That's the end of the. Come on. Are you crazy? I just walked over here. Welcome back. It's the start of the Thursday stream. Get this man some milk. Here we go. Dead God. Can you believe that we got this 18 streak going here? Like, it's actually a little crazy. We're going Maggie the Blue Baby, Big Booty Saurons gifting out gifted subs. Thank you. Doubters, don't be a fool. I promise you. This is not where you want to stake your claim. Some people can't be helped. They see odds. People actually say like the most probabilistically ignorant stuff you've ever heard in your life and think that it's real. It was 80-20. How could I not take the payout? And then you're like, well, you got to look at the bet, man. What's the 80-20? Sure, like getting 5x your bet is awesome, but what's the bet? Is the bet like, you know, is the Democratic Party of the United States of America gonna win the state of California in the 2020 election? In that case, honestly, put me on the side of the believers. I mean, we already know that it's come to pass, but put me on the side of the believers and I'll take like my, 4% easy gains. There is the lottery. Can I hit you with an unpopular opinion? I've been thinking, not as an investment strategy, but as a leisure activity, I've been thinking about playing the lottery. I'm being half facetious. I don't think that I would win the lottery, okay? And I am going to pick that up. But I do think it could be fun to buy one lottery ticket per week for, what is that, like, $5 or something like that? And then have the experience once weekly of checking the numbers and being like, oh, like, what? Imagine if we win. That could be fun. Like, basically, you're paying like $5 a week to make your fantasy of being fabulously wealthy slightly more tangible. That being said, you are also, while making your fantasy more tangible, I suppose you are eroding your ability to get there. That being said, I think it could be kind of fun once a week to buy one lottery ticket. Can I tell you, well, there's a few things that stop me from buying lottery tickets, okay? One of them is that I understand probability to a certain extent, and then as a result, I recognize that it's basically designed to just pull money from your pocket, occasionally give you a shot of dopamine, and then, trick you into playing more. The other one is that I get the most annoying kind of patron you'll ever find at a convenience store is the person who just buys a staggering amount of lottery tickets and bogarts the counter for hours and hours. So that I from seeing what it does to people, I look at that with a sober mind and I say to myself, I don't want to join that group. That being said, I don't know. Maybe it's fun. You know what we do, like, once every 2 or 3 years, we play something like, the BC Home Lottery. And you feel good about it because, like, even though you lose, you get to imagine, like, oh, imagine if we won this, like, cool home in Kelowna. What would we do? And then when you lose, you go, you know, at least the money goes to the BC, you know, hospital system. Then you go, okay, it's all, you know, it's all good. Anyway, like many things I bring up on this stream, I don't think I'm actually gonna do it. But what if? What if? Yeah, that's the thing. Most lottery money goes to the school system, right, or something. I'm content with this. This is good. I don't know. Like that's why I don't feel bad. Like you know, back when 17 years ago, when you could still go to in-person events. I just want to see an Eddie room, man, and then can of Eddie, and I'll be all right. But when you go to like Canucks games and they sell the 50-50, which is basically like 50% of the proceeds go to the prize and 50% of the proceeds like go to charity. You're like, if you win, you get like, you know, $40,000 or something like that. It's like a 1 in 80,000 chance, but still. And if you lose, you're like, hey, I just basically made a donation to the BC Children's Hospital. It's crazy. Like there's no. I'm taking a bold stance here, okay? I'm saying the lottery kind of owns. Because there's no, like, private lottery corporation, right? Like, there's no company out there that just, like, was like, hey, we're going to set up our own lottery independent of, like, the public. There are. EA, good one. +2. A +2 for you. my good sir. Sports betting? Okay, yeah. I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying, like, you know, with respect to like the numbers, you know, the numbers racket. Up dudes to the left. The Pokemon trading card company. Excuse me, that's not the lottery. Just listen to Apollo. Those are investments. Look, I don't even think my camera's set up right. I'm trying to be like here. Here. That feels better. Now I can be here. Okay. Oh no, boss rush. My boss rush. So true. Anyway. Ooh! Why are you rocking the Kanye West fit? Because I feel like Bad Boys Street Team. I couldn't work the locks. We'll probably take BFF. I actually love that Apollo's into Pokemon cards, because it reminds me, and I'm not saying he's wrong, you know, it's a hobby, but it reminds me of when I was in the Magic cards, and like all I wanted to think about was like, oh man, the pre-release is coming up, and there's Archangel Avacyn, it's a flip mythic rare, it might be modern playable, you know, etc., etc., and I'll be like, yeah, sure, I'll buy like 2 or 3 boxes when Magic, when the new set comes out, and then I would try to talk to people about it, and they would be like, I just don't really get it, and I'd be like, you're missing out, man, you're missing out. But he tries to peer pressure me or FOMO me, and I feel literally zero. He just keeps linking me, and I give my honest opinion, okay? And I'm not trying to pop any kind of Pokemon card bubble, not that I have that power to begin with, but like, he'll like link me to like a full art mythic rare hollow like Deoxys, and he's like, doesn't this look sick? And I'm like, it looks like a little kid got a hold of like a spray paint can, and he's like, you're just being a hater, man. They literally, like, every single one of them to me just looks like breakfast cereal, which is fine. I'm not into Pokemon to begin with, so it's like, you know, I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade. It's just that, like, whenever he opens a box, he starts telling me the stories as if, like, it's gonna make me feel the pull of missing out. And I'm really like, I think, just to be honest with you, I think that it looks like shit. I'm happy for you that you got this, like, super cool, like, you know, Zera Aura or Aroma Lady or whatever. But, like, the FOMO strat has, like, never worked on me in my entire life. Well, no, that's not. As a child, obviously it worked. As an adult, I'm literally like, it looks like garbage. And nobody plays the game. At least, but then we were having some laughs together because I Googled, like, you know, worst Magic card art of all time. And then I went like, dude, at least Magic has like good art. And then you link them to like some of the cards from Alpha that are just like animate wall, which is just a wall with like a horrible cartoon face drawn on it. And then there's one that's just, I think it's like it's called Shroud or Spirit or something like that. And it's, link them your Four Souls card. Oof, 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 oof. It is really bad. I also looked up my Magic cards to see if, like, maybe they had been decent investments, just like taking up space in our storage. But almost all of our, like, I would say for most of the sets that we own, dude, don't you know I'm Loki? The full set is worth less than the price of what one box was at MSRP. I'm not re-rolling this run, man. I gotta hold some out for the believers here. Man, just an Eddie room, dude. Just an Eddie room. But in 76 years, imagine. I'm not re-rolling. I got a responsibility to the believers, okay? This is already such a great run. I would have thought that, like, at least our full art expeditions that we got from Zendikar would be like, you know, they would have held their value decently well. But not really. I mean, some of them, like, I think we have a full art expedition Polluted Delta, which I looked up, and it's like, I think it's like $300 or something like that. And, I mean, that's, because the Polluted Delta, I think, is a fetch land that's played in Modern, which gives it a little bit of ubiquity. But, like, all the standard cards that we had, I mean, are just, like, gone. We played during, like, Magic Origins, then Battle for Zendikar, Shadow over Innistrad, and Eternal Moon, or was that the next one? Eternal Moon. And a very, 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 very small amount of Kaladesh. Eldritch Moon, not Eternal Moon. Thank you, thank you. Did you play during Kaladesh? I got outrated Kaladesh. I got a cool playmat for playing in the PAX Kaladesh event. And that's it. That's all I got. I'm just like, you know, I mean, again, I'm not raining on anybody else's parade. It's like, you know, it's a hobby, right? I just don't get collectibles. I think when I was a kid, I loved collectibles because it's like the only exposure you have to any kind of even like pseudo investing. So you're like, oh my god, Claude Giroux rookie card. I'm gonna be rich. This is gonna pay for like my whole college experience. As an adult who lives in a city where real estate is incredibly expensive, I'm like, I don't want to store this shit. Are you crazy? You want me to buy like 1,000 cards just to have a chance to get like a card of some value that might pay for the 1,000 cards that I paid for to get it in the first. And also, I'm like, I wanna talk to the Pokemon collectors, okay? And or just openers. They don't even have to be collectors. And I don't mean it in a negative way, but take it from somebody who's been there. The cards are not worth anything unless you sell them. So if you start cracking open these packs and going like, whoa, that's like 200 bucks right there. It is 200 bucks, but you gotta actually, you know, yeet it on eBay in order to make it 200 bucks. Otherwise, it's just paper in your house. Take it from somebody who moved, you know, 3,500 Magic cards 2 years ago and just has them like shoved in my cellar. Which is, again, is fine. I'm just saying. Ripping packs is always fun, unfortunately. I've become a caricature of myself though. Like for every time Apollo talks about like how much his Pokemon cards are worth, I'm like, please, you can still open Pokemon cards. I'm just begging you. I am begging you. Can you also set up a Roth IRA so that you can get, you know, tax-free investment gains? And he's like, it takes forever. And I'm like, it did in like 1998. Now it takes like 7 minutes. You can do it so fast, I promise. The world, this is crawl space or many rocks, I think. Just think it. There's a lot of the thinky here. This is an interesting run. Go ahead, hit me. I'll only become more powerful than you could possibly imagine. Crawl space. Yo, I pulled a hollow Vanguard Mutual Fund. It's actually funny because like doesn't Robinhood do like they've added gambling to their investment profile? Like when you sign up for an account, they give you a free stock, and it could like 95% of the time it's gonna be dog shit, but like there's a small chance that you're like, dude, I pulled a Berkshire Hathaway Class B stock, dude. That's crazy. Look at this. Anyway, I got Microsoft from that. Dude, that's like 300 bucks. That's crazy. My free stock a couple years ago was GME. Yo, that's a pretty lucky one. I'm not denying that. I got a $9 Ford stock. Rip to you, but the other posters just built different. I got Facebook. Like, I'm telling you, they get it, man. I mean, like, I'm not trying to make this an investing anecdote. I'm saying, you know, like, actually, I think there's a lot of research that actually shows, like, the more fun gambling is, or the more fun investing is, the worse people do over time. So I think the dream is to make it as boring as possible, but it's probably a good way to get people signing up for it. I got LVMH. Yo, that's extreme Chad status. Okay. How are we gonna play this? Let's think about this. Is that for real? I'm gonna go make an account. No. Make it on Well Simple. Make it Well Simple. Make it on Well Simple instead. Then use my... Just scroll down. There's a QR code. You could use that to sign up. You get 25 bucks for free. I get 25 bucks for you using the code. And now we wait. Now we wait for it to roll in. I'm not Canadian. Okay, never mind then. Fair enough. I don't want larynx. You know why? Because frick you, man. Yumheart is really good. Yumheart's fun. The question becomes, how good is Potato Peeler? And I'm like, it's okay for me to poop on. I guess with BFF, it's like pretty sick. Look at the size of this freaking thing, man. Look at the size of this thing. Holy crap. It's bigger than I am. I think I'm only going to play it once. And if you've got a problem with that, you can suck on my potato peeler. Nobody knows what that means, but it gets the people going. Do it 3 more times? How about you do this 3 more times? Use a tier 1 subscription. Owned. I think it's big because I'm small. I don't know what made us small, though. Maybe, like, experimental treatment? Anyway. I want to reiterate it for the 15th time. People opening... Oh, Binky. Binky, Binky. Can't you see? You've made my tier rate more amenable to me, and I can stand your upgraded tiers. I think that we've created some doubter fear. I couldn't resist the odds, dude! It wasn't me, it was the odds! Nice bars. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Whoops. It doesn't matter, because we already won. Whoops. Okay, maybe it matters a little. But yeah, what I was gonna say is I don't really, I don't mind when people open Pokemon cards. I just laugh. Somehow, I've become nearly immune to FOMO. That's basically where I'm at. At least with respect to stuff like that. Also, like, having a child is a great excuse to never spend money on anything you don't want to spend money on. Like, you could literally just be like, I have a kid. Oh, you want me to do... I'm sorry, I have a child. I can't do that. You don't understand what it's like. Sure, when you're single, when you're a bachelor, when you don't have a kid, yeah, go ahead. Spend your money however you feel free to do it. I have a kid. You think I'm gonna buy Pokemon cards? I have a child. Pokemon cards are only for adults between the age of 21 and 35 who are willing to get in fistfights with one another at Target in order to ensure that they get access to the newest stock. What if the children want to play? Well, then they should get a job, okay? How are they supposed to compete with all these, you know, these people crushing it on Twitch? Sad. Just a sad story. Sucks to be you, kid. Sorry. Oh, you wanted a Charizard to play with? He's your favorite Pokemon? That's really cool. I'm gonna put it in my safe. And, sell it, and I'm gonna buy a house and price you out of the property market in a few years. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about... Oh, you're in 5th grade? You don't even know how to spell property? You whatever. Hunger Games? No, thanks. I'm still full. I was at the card store. A little kid said, hey, can I have some Pokemon cards? And I was like, yeah, whatever. Sorry, kid. Welcome to the free market. The invisible hand just turned visible. Give me that. A 5th grader should know how to spell property. Honest question. Anybody here of the age where when you were in school you did more typing than handwriting? I don't know if that's even really happened yet. I did a staggering amount more handwriting than typing. I mean, you used to write essays for exams and stuff like that. You'd be just writing straight for like 2 hours. Your hand would be like screaming in pain. Like every English exam in high school and university was like both a mental and a physical trial. But I do wonder, and I don't think it says anything about like the decline of, you know, intelligence or anything like that. I'm not at that level of boomer yet. But I do wonder if, as typing becomes more common, if spelling ability will decrease as a result of the tools available to make it so you don't have to be a perfect speller to spell perfectly. Which is fine, by the way. Like, it's the same thing, like, you know, I don't want to be like the engineer who's like, man, these calculators are making it so you don't have to multiply 3-digit numbers in your head on the fly in order to make sure that your bridge is good to go. I'm just saying, okay. Now, people said if you walk slow, it can't see you because it can't see over the button. My God, new tech. New tech. I can't believe that actually works. I read it on the subreddit, for real. Its vision is based on movement, exactly. Egg whites. What the heck's going on, man? The cruelest dream reality? My mom learned typing shorthand. Dude, that's... My grandma, like... She was, like, a shorthand expert. And every once in a while, like... I'd read her shorthand journal, and I'm like, I can't read what the fuck you wrote, Grandma. Like, I guess shorthand exists so that you can write super quickly, but I guess it also serves as, like, the, you know, the ultimate code. It's like crypto journaling. She could be writing anything in there. I'd never figure it out. You swore at your grandma? No. I said frig in 4th grade. We were at the Buffet Delight in Kingston, Ontario. And everyone made fun of me. They were like, oh, now we know how you act at school. And I was like, shut up. You don't know me. What the heck? Anyway, just curious. You know, the older you get, the more you realize, like, the school system has to change because the world changes, right? We spent so much time, I know we go over this again and again, we spent so much time in elementary school learning shit that didn't matter at all. They were preparing us for the world of the 1970s that no longer exists, where, you know, you had to know cursive writing, and learning typing was like a multi-year ordeal. Just hundreds of hours of completely wasted, you know, time in the prime of our youths when we're sponges. I'm not saying we should have been learning, you know, about meiosis or adsorption. I'm just saying, man. At least, you know, I can't imagine, like, anybody in chat a typing teacher. That's gotta be not the best industry to be in right now. I can't imagine. They don't exist. Typing was an elective when I was in high school. I apologize for running the same story over and over and over again. I got a 70 in my 9th grade information technology class, because even though I typed like 75, 80 words per minute in 9th grade, the teacher marked me down from like where I should have been, which is, in my opinion, in the A's, all the way down to like a B- because I didn't type using the home row, even though I could type faster than him. It's like your gym teacher like marking down Michael Jordan because he has like an unorthodox free throw stance. Like, it's just idiotic. Also, that guy was really dumb, so I don't feel bad about freaking it up. He would just check his Hotmail like all class and then leave for half an hour, and then he would write something on the board like, you know, RAM. This is the memory in a computer. Does anybody know what it stands for? Literally, the whole class is like random access memory, and he's like, okay, think about that for 45 minutes, and he would just leave. It was just like we just played so much addictinggames.com. Sounds sick. In the moment, it was kind of sick. As an adult, it's actually just depressing. Not just because of the wasted time, but because this guy clearly, like, took no pride in his job whatsoever. Did he know the biology teacher? Wait, which biology teacher? I'm trying to think of the biology teacher stories I've told. The only one I can really remember is when my teacher marked me down for saying fruition in a paper. Oh, the one that was constantly pregnant. When I think back, she was only pregnant 2 times. But in the course of a 4-year high school career, I mean, like, I had her as a teacher twice. But literally, I had her for 9th grade science. She got pregnant, went on maternity leave, came back like a year and a half later, was there for 6 months. Then I had her for 12th grade biology, and she was pregnant again. Which is her, don't get me wrong, is her right. I'm just saying, I didn't really get to, we didn't bond that much. She was making sure, you know, she's probably got her own show on TLC now. Because if she kept up at that pace, I think she's probably got like 21 kids now or something. Something like that. Probably not. Dude, I was losing it watching. So I was watching Wolves in My Door stream last night. Jay, you might be here right now. And he was talking about extreme cheapskates. Which jogged, like, the memory that I had of watching so much early morning TLC when our baby was, like, you know, brand new. You know, when she was waking up at, like, 4 in the morning consistently. And he watched some of the clips on stream, and it just, I forgot. It just, like, activated my trauma response again and again. Like, he was telling me about this lady on Extreme Cheapskates. And I do want to start by saying that, like, there's two kinds of situations that happen on that show. One is people who are genuinely just poor, trying to make ends meet. And then the show is just sad and like an indictment of the state of social services. Those aren't the ones where you like make fun of it too much. Like there's one where like this lady who's pregnant like dumpster dives behind pharmacies to find prenatal vitamins, and you're just, you know, she's got like a smile on her face. She's like, you'd gotta be stupid to pay for prenatal vitamins, and I'm like, ah, honey, this is like, it should not be like this. Probably like you should not feel superior based on this, and you shouldn't be put in this position to begin with. But then the other one is, if you don't make fun of it, you're a criminal, which is people that are ostensibly actually quite wealthy, or at the very least middle class, just ruining their lives, like just destroying their quality of life to feel superior because they saved a very negligible amount of money that they could afford to spend to begin with. Like people, there's one where they have $1 million house. Now, they didn't pay $1 million for it. They bought it in like a short sale. And then they like sold the basement to their own parents, so they paid like $200,000 for $1 million house. But they have, you know, $1 million in equity, more or less, or at least $500,000. But then they spend like their time ripping the 2-ply toilet paper into 1-ply. And then like rationing. Like the lady was counting out like individual Cheerios for her kids, and she literally said like, okay, today you get 14 Cheerios, and she counted them out, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. And then she said, if you don't eat them all, tomorrow you only get 12. Who's got time for that? Like, you're just insane to begin with. It's like you're really gonna keep like a spreadsheet and to save what, two Cheerios a day? It's just insanity. And then of course, again, I feel the need to point out that, like, you know, this is the same lady who was like, something like the average American family spends like you know, $950 a month on groceries or something like that, but she only spends like $180 for her family of 5. And then she's like, let me show you my awesome trick. She literally just takes a laundry basket around to her neighbors' houses and just asks them for food. And you're like, man, like I just hate it. Like, you're not, like, you're doing well. You're going around to other people and kind of like forcing them into an emotional situation to be like, you know, hey, my neighbor's asking me for food. Am I the kind of person that says no to that? And then, you know, it just pisses me off, man. I don't find it admirable. How would you react? I would probably... I mean, we have a different relationship with neighbors, I think, in a big city. Like, I know my neighbors. They seem cool. I mean, it depends. If they came and asked me for... It depends. I would... I would have to think about it. If they were like, we don't have food, we need your food to live, I would be like, here's some food. Here's a Uber Eats gift certificate. If they were like, we would like your food because you spend your money on it so that I don't have to, I would be like, no. I wouldn't say get out. I would just be like, that's all right. I would rather not. Plus, we have a baby. You're gonna take food out of my child's mouth? Okay, I guess. Look at that. This is like the easiest run we've ever had. Pay out the believers. Like, yes, 95%, no, 5%. Slash marker. It's Casino 1.